Why? Why did Muggs Hallis have to pass away unexpectedly at the age of 54 when he was the man that was going to take over this football team? He is the man that was the football guy in the family. At the very least, why couldn't he at least have had some sons that could have taken this team over upon his death? You realize what a different team that this would be if Muggs Hallis inherited the team rather than Virginia McCaskey. Why do we... I titled this Incompetence Breeds Incompetence. And by that, I mean Virginia has no idea what she's doing. Her children have no idea what they are doing. Nobody in this family wants to run this team. Who's gonna take over after Virginia and George? Does anybody give a shit in this family? Does anybody know how to run a football team in this family? George McCaskey constantly says, "I'm a fan. I'm not a football guy. I'm a fan." Well, God damn it, I'm a fan too. Why do I know more about this team than you do? Why are we in this perpetual cycle of doing shit wrong? They should have, if they knew they were going to be drafting a quarterback with the first pick, if they knew they were going to be drafting Caleb Williams, Ryan Poles should have fired everyone. We said this on the channel last year in real time as it happened after they fired Getsy. Why not just fire everyone? Go out and get an offensive-minded head coach. Draft that said offensive-minded head coach and pair him with the new rookie quarterback that you're about to draft. Why are you going to take a lame duck head coach and try to develop a rookie quarterback with said lame duck head coach? Where is the competence? Where is it? They fire McCaskey. I'm sorry. They fire Matt Nagy. They fire the other head coach. I'm sorry. I'm so pissed off right now, I can't even think. Sorry. They fire Ryan Pace and they fire Matt Nagy. Then they go and interview head coaches before they bring in the general manager, like a completely fucking incompetent team would do. They interview a bunch of head coaches, least of which I think any of us as Bears fans would have chosen Matt Eberflus. I'm sure we all talked about it in real time at the moment. We were all kind of wondering what the hell they were doing hiring Matt Eberflus with the other choices that they had. I believe Dan Quinn was one of them, if I'm mistaken. Correct me. And then they go out and they hire Ryan Poles. And what happens immediately after he is hired? He names Matt Eberflus as a head coach. Are we all really supposed to sit here and believe that Matt Eberflus was Ryan Poles' first choice? Really? What's up, guys? Dave S., thanks for hanging out with me right now. Scottish Bear. Hi, Patty Lara. Thanks for hanging out with me right now. I'm just pissed off. I had no plans on doing this. It's all fresh in my head right now, so I'm getting it off my chest. Why was Matt Eberflus immediately the guy that Ryan Poles wanted? We all knew he looked exactly like a McCaskey guy. Clean cut, well-spoken. Apparently, per Hard Knocks, not that I gave a shit, but didn't swear. Not a swearing guy. That is so McCaskey. What's up, Foster? This fucking cycle of I don't know, my camera's giving me problems. This cycle of incompetence feels like it's never going to end, guys. We draft a quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, with a lame duck head coach. We make this quarterback learn all these different paragraphs for offensive plays, and then we fire that coach, and then we go get a new head coach, and that quarterback has to learn all new plays all over again in year 2. And then we fire that coach, and we go out and get we go draft another quarterback. We do the same fucking thing with Justin Fields, and then we bring in Matt Nagy. I'm sorry, we bring in Eberflus after 1 year of Justin Fields with Matt Nagy. We make Justin Fields learn this fucking offense, only to throw it all out the damn window again and have to learn and start all over again. We're doing it again. And I'm fucking sick of this. I know everyone in here is sick of this too. Ghost, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the incompetence of this ownership. Get your fucking heads out of your asses. If you don't know how to, I'm just as much of a fan as you, George. I can damn well guarantee you I could run a damn football team better than you. At least I would have the fucking correct order in which to do things. You hire a general manager. Well, if you're going to get rid of the fucking team president, you hire a team president. The team president goes and gets the general manager. The general manager interviews the head coaches. He brings in his head coach. You don't interview coaches before you bring in the fucking general manager. No matter what you think about this quarterback, Ghost, this quarterback is in the same fucking rinse and repeat cycle that the last 2 quarterbacks have been in. They keep trying. I'll give them credit. They're taking swings at quarterbacks like they've never done in my lifetime, and they finally get one who is, by all accords, generational to a lot of people, a lot of trained eyes on this. People are calling this quarterback generational. And what are we doing with him? We're pairing him with a defensive head coach, a defensive-minded head coach who is lame ducked. We talked about it before the season. Well, what's going to happen if he doesn't make the playoffs? Is he going to get fired? The last thing I want to see is him get fired. Because the last thing I want to see is Caleb Williams have to start all over again. Learning a new offense all over again. But no, it's happening. And if they don't fucking fire Flus after this season, personally, I would fire him tomorrow. I think there's enough competence in the coaching staff that you could just promote Waldron to head coach, finish out the season, and then fucking do it all over again. And if they regardless of whether they fire Flus after the end of the season or they do not fire him after the end of the season, both of those scenarios are still jokes. Both of those scenarios still make this team look like a fucking joke. What's up, Armando? Thanks for hanging out with me right now. What would this team have looked like if Muggs Hallis inherited it? If Muggs Hallis didn't pass away unexpectedly from a heart attack in 1979? What if he had children and he had a couple of sons and those sons took over the team? Because I'm sure he'd be gone by now. He was born in 1925. This is it's insanity. It is insanity. How much longer can we continue to do this? I'm going to be honest with you guys. If they fuck this quarterback up, I'm pulling this channel from the air and I'm fucking off back to my life. And I'm going to stop devoting so much time, energy, money, and wasted emotions on a team that in this in this dimension that I'm living in will never get it correct. Never. If they fire Flus after this season, which, damn well they better, it still makes us look like a joke. We are still a joke. We're still wasting a year of this quarterback learning an offense, putting everything he has into that offense, throwing it out the window and starting over again next year. I'm going to read something here, and we're just going to pretend that this is a play, okay? Pretend I have to go in, and every single one of these plays is this long. George Stanley Muggs Hallis, born September 4th, 1925 to December 16th, 1979, was an American football executive who was one of 5 presidents in the history of the Chicago Bears franchise of the National Football League and the NFL. He was the son of Bears founder and NFL co-founder George Hallis and Minnie Bushing. He went to the Loyola University Chicago Quinlan School of Business. George Jr. joined the Bears front office in 1950. He became treasurer in 1953 and president of the club in 1963. That's one play. That's one fucking play. Now you have to learn 75 to 100 more of them. And let's just take that and have you relearn them all over again. Same words, though, but now you have to take all the different words and put them in different... You have to read it in reverse. If they would have just gone out and got a fucking offensive-minded head coach to pair with the quarterback that they knew they were going to be drafting, at the very least, you give them 3 years in that offense to learn it. I want to get to what you guys are saying here in chat. I want to thank you first off for joining me right now for my little rant session. Dave saying Eberflus is a problem. The OC is a problem. SEMO is a giant problem. The team gave up today because of shit coaching. Enough is enough. I want to ask you this, Dave. Do you think that the players sent a message today based on the shit show that happened this past week? The embarrassing Chicago Bear-like fucking shit show that happened this past week. Because I feel like it was a message to them that they're giving up on him. Scottish saying, I knew the Bears were not winning today. I have zero faith in the Flus. This Bears team might only win one more game. We might end up with a worse record than last season. First coming from someone who predicted 13-4, I couldn't disagree with you more right now. And you know what? You know why I predicted 13-4? Because I have no choice but to buy into the bullshit mediocrity, the incompetence. It's like Denny Green. We know who they're exactly who we think they are. We know who this team is. They are exactly who we know they are. And we keep letting them off the hook. Why? Because we don't have any choice. What are we going to do? March down there to Hallis Hall and demand that they give one of us the job? No, that's not going to happen. So we all have to. Every year, I start the season over the top, fucking positive. I try to look past all of the bullshit. I try to pretend I'm not seeing it so I can brainwash myself into believing that this team could actually be good. Because we're seeing it happen right now. Everything that I hoped for in this season is happening right now to the Commanders. They have a rookie head coach. They have a rookie quarterback with a head coach who is it's his first swing. He's a new head coach to the Commanders with a new offensive and defensive staff. Everything is all in year one over there, and they're 7-2 right now. And the quarterback that they have is making our quarterback look fucking stupid. Cliff Kingsbury failed at a head coaching job, but he has a pretty good offensive mind. Dan Quinn put together a a good coaching staff over there. Dan Quinn at least knows how to do that. Dan Quinn made Kyle Shanahan, his offensive coordinator, who then became the head coach of the Niners. We all know what's happening over there. The reason why I predict a 13-4 record with a rookie head coach, the reason why I say we're going to win the Super Bowl, become the first team to win a Super Bowl with a rookie head coach, is because I know it's possible. I know it's possible to have a winning record with a rookie and get to the playoffs with a rookie. It's happening right now to a different team. A fucking team that's on new ownership, all new everything, and it's happening to them. They're stealing all of our thunder because we're too incompetent to have that thunder. Does anyone here really believe that Ryan Poles really wanted Matt Eberflus as his head coach? Does anyone here really believe that? This goes back to my first thoughts of Eberflus, and I tried to change my thoughts on him with his cool hairdo and trying to be Mr. Slick Guy and the beard and all that shit. If Matt Eberflus had walked into my room and I was interviewing him for the head coaching job based on his mediocrity and he just doesn't fit. He fits the McCaskies perfectly. He doesn't fit what the Chicago Bears need as a head coach. We all knew this as fans from day one. We all wondered what the fuck was going on. It was just as much of a what the fuck just happened as it was the day that they drafted Mitch Trubisky. But what do? Just like with Trubisky, well, we're going to try to find there's got to be something good in here, right? We all try to convince ourselves that he's our eyes aren't working. We try to convince ourselves our eyeballs do not work. Because that's what we do as fans. We love this team. All of us, every one of you in here right now, everyone that's going to be watching this later, you are all just as much fans as I am. That's why you're watching this. That's why you're here right now. We deserve better, man. This coaching staff should have been fired the minute that they knew they were drafting Caleb Williams. And if Ryan Poles is such a great general manager like we all want to think he is, then why didn't he put his foot down and say, I'm firing Flus? And we're going to go a different direction with an offensive-minded head coach. We're going to reset the clock on the coach with the quarterback. Because God forbid if he continues on the same path, this fucking camera. Of course, it's just going to keep fucking with me right now. That's the universe I'm in right now. Jeez. Look at that. That looks terrible. What a joke. This is perfect. Let me try this one more time. No. I guess I'm going to look grainy right now. Fucking A. Ridiculous. I lost my rant right there because of this stupid fucking camera. Poles should have known the second he was drafting Caleb Williams that he needs to replace the coaching staff and have them all in the same cycle. It's kind of like firing a general manager and while you still retain the head coach. Fire everybody and start all over again. Get a new general manager. Have the new general manager find his head coach. Have them pair themselves together for the next however many years until that general manager decides it's not working out. And let him make the call instead of wasting a season with a general manager and a head coach. Let me try to unplug this camera. This is driving me nuts. see. Did that work? Nope, that didn't work. Of course, this would be happening right now. That's just the kind of day I'm having, right? That's the kind of day we're all having as Bears fans. It's the kind of fucking decade we're all having. It's the kind of life we're all having as Bears fans. It's ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. One more try. Nope. Let's try this. All right. Well, I guess my camera's fucking broken right now, so I'm just gonna be an avatar right now, bitching and complaining right now. That's better. Where was I? Let me get to you guys, because you guys will probably bring me back to where I was. Yeah, Scottish Bear. Dan Quinn was the final coaching candidate when Flus got hired. Right. Well said. I do remember that. Word is Warren wanted Eberflus replaced, but he gave in to Poles. Poles got us our QB of the future, and that's it. Nothing more. Poles needs to be replaced first. For an offensive lineman, he sure doesn't know how to fucking look for offensive linemen, does he? Usually this camera does this to me like once, and then it stops. But right now it's doing this because it's just the universe is fucking with me right now. Armando's saying by halftime I was already throwing the ball in the backyard for the dog and didn't come back in until the middle of the fourth quarter. Yeah, I after that after I remember looking at the clock with 26 seconds left before the half ended, thinking, "Oh, this is just like last week when there was 26 seconds left and they scored the Hail Mary to win the game. Are they going to actually, do the same thing? Are they going to drive the ball down a little bit and throw up a Hail Mary and get another touchdown before they go into the half?" No, they didn't need to. They just ran the ball down our fucking throats. Yeah, right? Is Poles in charge of my camera? Right, Laz? My camera is a Packers fan. Oh, shit. I had some really good thoughts before this camera started fucking with me. I don't feel like this is going to ever end, guys. I feel like we're just going to do this again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And when is it going to end? When is it going to end? Cliff, we're in trouble, guys. Bears have big issues. Cliff, yes, we are in trouble. We should have fired everyone the second we knew we were drafting a quarterback. Poles should have said, "Hey, Matt Eberflus really wasn't my first choice, but since you guys interviewed him before you hired me, and you guys insist that I hire him as the coach, I did that. It didn't work. Now we're going in a different direction. We need to have an offensive-minded coach to pair up with a quarterback. Because if we're going to, at the very least, we have a 3-year lease, a 3-year window, right, with that offensive-minded head coach to develop the quarterback. Anything could have been better than thinking that you're going to develop a quarterback with a defensive-minded head coach. The guy isn't Bill Belichick. Last saying, the day after the Lions win the Super Bowl, we hire Ben Johnson and bring back Chico to be defensive coordinator. That's a great idea. Here are my thoughts on Ben Johnson. First off, where the hell did he come from? Does anybody here know where Ben Johnson came from? Where is his coaching tree from? The thing that scares me about a Ben Johnson is he just came out of nowhere for the Lions. It's not like Dan Campbell is some offensive whiz kid and he's like developing offensive coordinators like a Sean McVay or like a Kyle Shanahan. Where did Ben Johnson come from, and what gives us the function of thought to think that he's going to be a good head coach? Perhaps he's just a great offensive coordinator, and he's not an actual leader of men. Perhaps he's just as shitty of a game manager as fucking Eberflus is. God, I mean, I keep going back to the Colts game. On Caleb Williams' first touchdown pass on that drive, I turned to my wife and I said, this is the drive of the game. They have got to go down the field. They have got to score, and they have got to go for 2 points. What happens? They do that. They go down the field, they score. And then you got one guy saying 2 points, another guy saying 1. Oh, now we got to call a timeout because we're fucking incompetent idiots. It was like I said to my wife today. Okay, so the score is now 14-6. She goes, okay. So now a touchdown is worth 6 points, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so that'll be 14-12, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, so what do you do next? Do you kick a field goal, or do you an extra point, or do you go for 2? She goes, you go for 2. Well, yes. My wife knows about as much about football as just slightly more than my dog. It's not a knock to her. She'll tell you the same thing. And she can do the math. And they couldn't even score that touchdown. Right, Armando. What happened to using Komet? What the fuck happened to using Komet? What happened to Khalil Herbert? Did somebody cut off his legs? Khalil Herbert was one of our better running backs for the last several years. And for some reason, they just decide he's just not going to play anymore. You're done. You're done for the season. Why even suit him up then? If you're not going to play him, just get rid of him. The guy has a different burst. He has a different burst than Swift does. I don't know why he's not in the game. Coaching incompetence. Incompetence breeds incompetence. Has coaching tree ever been good for the Bears? Maybe Johnson is a new tree. Maybe. Maybe he's just a guy that's on the right team, and he is a hell of an offensive coordinator. I'll give him that. He is one hell of an offensive coordinator. But is he going to know when to go for 2 in the game? Or is he going to have to call a timeout? Is he going to like shy away from throwing the challenge flag because he got burned on the last one, and that play ends up being the play that decides the game? Laz, anytime a player shows development and progress, they stop utilizing him, and development doesn't happen much. That's 100%. Cliff, what happened to the entire Bears organization today? This game was a wake-up call. I want to ask you guys, Cliff, do you guys think that this team gave up on Flus today? Do you think that they sent a message in this game from the incompetence from last week? You go and watch that game again. It's like everyone on the play right before the Hail Mary, everyone's in the fucking end zone like it's a Hail Mary. Like they think he can throw the ball 95 yards in the air. And they leave There was two guys wide open on that second to last play that got him into Hail Mary range. What the fuck was that? Then, take out of it the whole Tyreek Stevens thing. He was spying a quarterback on a Hail Mary. You want him to run. As soon as he starts running the ball, you have 11 guys there to tackle him. All they can do is pitch the ball around from that point on. You fucking idiot. Yes, leaving Caleb in at the end of the game. I swear to God, man, I thought to myself, they just blew his knee, didn't they? He just got his fucking knee blown, didn't he? And a meaningless second to last play of the game got his fucking knee blown, didn't he? Luckily, he did not. They said it was an ankle. Caleb said he's fine in the press conference. But come on. Come on. That leaving him in the game at the end there was, and it better have been. That's why I am saying right now, and I've never been for it. This is the first time I ever have been, and I'm saying it right now. Fire this motherfucker tomorrow. Flus, bye-bye. Here's your walking papers, pal. Get out of here. Promote Waldron. Let's see if Waldron can get a win on the road. Steve Phillips, my cousin, pointed out today. Flus doesn't have a road win on Sunday. Think about that. Our head coach has not won a game on the road on a Sunday. Fucking, are you kidding me? They're going to go in there. They're going to go up into New England. And they're going to get their ass handed to them by another rookie quarterback, guys. That's what's going to happen because this moron doesn't know how to win on the road. He doesn't know how to get his team prepared to win on the road. Impressive stuff at home, dude. Good job at home lately. Alex is my name-o. Thank you for hanging out with me as I vent right now. I want to be unburdened by what has been. Fire him. Yes, fire him. Fire him tomorrow. It's not like when we had Nagy, or even last year when we were calling for Getsy to be fired in the middle of the season. Or we were calling for Flus to be fired in the middle of the season. There wasn't enough. There wasn't somebody that you could confidently say, okay, we'll have him run the team from here on out. I'm confident that Waldron could do it. And then you set it out there. Everyone knows the Bears are looking for a head coach. And if Ben Johnson did really come out and say he wanted to, I don't know what the truth is to that. Albert Breer reporting, leaking. Sometimes those leaks are on purpose because said person wants that job and said person wants it to be known that he wants that job. Maybe Ben Johnson really does want the job. Maybe he would be a great head coach. But I fuck, at this point, I'd be willing to go out and get Bill Belichick because at least we would know that he would be able to build this organization to where it needs to be. I think he's too old. I don't really want Bill Belichick as the head coach, but if you were going to go defensive coordinator as head coach, that's about the only guy that I would hire in this world. It should be an offensive-minded coach to go with the rookie quarterback. Dave S. saying Waldron can't do it either. I don't disagree with you on that. I don't. This offensive line it's It's a sieve. It's a revolving door. Caleb Williams sacked on 3 straight plays. Jeez. I just so badly want to know what would have happened if Muggs didn't pass away. If he didn't just suddenly die of a heart attack at 54 years old. What would the trajectory of this team look like? I don't love her because I don't know her, but I do have love in my heart for Virginia McCaskey. I'm not going to sit up here and shit talk her. She's a lovely lady. But her children should have been bred for this shit. She knows she's the only one left. It's her team. Her children have got to run this team. Why are they so incompetent? Why? Why does George Halas stand up there and say, I'm a fan? Well, so am I. How could you grow up in this organization, as a fan of this organization, and not have a fucking wit about you as to what to do with it? Why are you hiring consultants to hire your biggest positions on the team? Your general managers, your head coaches. Why? Why do you need a fucking consultant? The O-line is decimated, and that's why I have zero to no confidence. What happened to our defensive line, by the way? That's why it makes me wonder if this team did take a pause to give up, to send the message back to him like, hey, you want to hold us accountable for what, the hits principles and all this shit? Well, we're going to hold you accountable. What happens if they win last week? What happens if they are competent enough to win last week? Does that carry over into this week and they actually win this week? Or was this week a byproduct of last week? And what will continue from here? I don't know. I don't know how much more I'd be able to listen to Eberflus if I was these guys. It's hard for me to listen to him as it is right now as a fan. Come on, Shorty. No one comes up with better nicknames than Flus. Scottish Bear saying Virginia McCaskey fired a lot of good people when her father died, including the Honey Bears, and she is Foster's bit on the side. Cliff saying, I want to see how Bears react to this annihilation by Arizona. Rest of the season depends on them toughening up and learning from it. Maybe Bajent's dad could play O-line. Maybe, Tony. I'd stick him in there and see what happens. Our best offensive lineman this year, Bill Murray. I don't think he's coming back, right? He tore his pec, so that's pretty much the rest of the season at this point, right? Carl saying Sweat was ruled out pregame. Billings has a pec injury, and Zach Pickens, who finally wasn't injured, flat out sucks. Yeah. By the way, Terrell Smith was playing pretty damn well before they pulled him out. I heard in the game that he injured his ankle or something, and that he... Was that really why they took him out, though, or did they just take him out because it was time to put Tyreek Stevenson in? Because he was playing well. Those first two drives, the stops, those first two drives that were stopped, he was a big part of that. That deep ball he swatted down, and then he drilled that dump off pass for like a no gain on the next drive. Terrell Smith is a baller. Oh, yeah. He was announced as being out. Was it after? Is that the reason why they took him out, though? Did they take him out because he was injured, or did they take him out because his time was up? We're putting Tyreek back in. And I saw a play where Tyreek Stevenson had a good play, and then he's like talking shit again. Like, dude, put your head up your ass and go to the bench and get ready for the next play. Tyreek Stevenson should have been humbled by what happened last week, and don't even, at the very least, give it a few games before you start acting like a prick again. I don't know what to like. I don't have it in me anymore to do this to myself. If they fuck this quarterback up, guys, I don't. I got a lot better things to do on my Sundays than waste them sitting on my ass watching football and watching this kind of shit. How many rushing yards did they have on us today? At one point it was like, why even throw the ball? You're getting down into a 3-point stance, look at our defensive line right in the eyes and saying, we're running the ball down your fucking throat. Stop it. They couldn't do it. If Poles sticks with Flus, he should be fired too. This what brings me back to it though. How much of this does Ryan Poles really have to do with it? Ryan Poles can sit up there and say all he wants about he's running this team. I'm calling bullshit. There's no way in hell I would bring Matt Eberflus into my room and into my office and interview him and go, that's the guy I want to run my football team. I wouldn't have done it then. I wouldn't do it now. How many of you wanted Matt Eberflus at the time? I'm sure you all could come up with every other candidate as a better candidate. I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical about Dan Quinn just because of his meltdown in the Super Bowl. But Dan Quinn knows how to build a coaching staff. And that's what brings me back to, again, I'll say it for anyone else that just got in here, that the reason why I have so much optimism every single year with this team is because I know it can happen. I know it's possible. I know it's possible to make it to the playoffs in the first year of a coaching regime. Fuck, Matt Nagy did it. Dan Quinn's about to do it with the Commanders, with a rookie. If I sat up here the entire time and predicted that the Bears were going to become the first team in NFL history to win the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback and the Commanders do it, you are literally going to watch my head explode like a fucking emoji. Tony, maybe Trace Armstrong is running the Bears. No, maybe he should be running the Bears. Scottish saying, I told you all a few weeks ago that Caleb Williams was the second most pressured QB in the NFL. Chris Morgan continues to be one of the worst coaches with pass protection. Not anyone's O-line. Anyone's O-line pulls is blind. It's kind of like, John Elway, Hall of Fame head quarterback, right? Ran the Broncos for how long? Couldn't find a quarterback. Ryan Poles was a failed offensive lineman in the NFL. He was undrafted free agent by the Bears. Didn't last long in the NFL at all. Is that why he can't get offensive line correct? too close to him? Is it because he sucked as an offensive lineman? He thinks he knows what's good, but it's really that because he thought he was good, but he sucked. So he's projecting it into everyone he hires or brings on for the offensive line. They suck. Coleman Shelton getting pushed around like a fucking Raggedy Ann doll out there. Bill Murray comes in, plays a whole game for Tevin Jenkins. Clearly the best offensive lineman. Out there. We did we were breaking down the all-22 when he was in. He took out 3 guys on one play. He's taking on his own guy. Braxton Jones is struggling. He pauses for a second to go knock Braxton Jones' guy on his ass, goes back to his guy, knocks his guy on his ass, and then goes over to Coleman Shelton's guy and knocks him on his ass, and he's not playing the next week. Wow! Last year, we saw Tevin Jenkins play next to Darnell Wright. That was the scenario that I was just talking about. They're in the 3-point stance, looking at their defensive linemen in front of them, going, "We're going to run the ball. Power right. Stop it." They couldn't stop it. But here, I got a great idea, guys. Let's take Tevin Jenkins and put him back at left guard. Aren't I fucking brilliant? And granted, I know that Ryan Poles is not the one shuffling around the players and their positions. So maybe you're right. Maybe Chris Morgan is shit. You talked to a lot of people, a lot of these talking heads and people that, Chris Morgan is a highly regarded offensive lineman in the NFL. Well, okay, where did he come from? What was he working with before? Now I have to look this up. Who was he on a team that had like one of the best offensive linemen, as far as talent? Is that why? Dan Hampton for head coach. Alex and my name, and Poles made keeping Chris Morgan a requirement when Flus was hired. That's right. Chris Morgan came from Nagy's system, didn't he? How long do the McCaskies keep Ted Phillips? They are loyal to a fault. How quick will they be to fire? They won't. Why? What is so wrong with firing a head coach midseason? What is so wrong with it? Didn't what's his name just get fired after like two games? Who was it? Wasn't that the Colts head coach? Somebody got fired after just like a couple of games. We know it's possible, guys. We know it's possible. Coaching matters. Coaching is just as important as the players on the team. And when you have a shit head coach, it becomes obvious. I understand injuries happen, like Mike Daniels. He's a great example for the Dolphins. Came out last year. Was it last year? I think he got hired the same year as Flus, actually. But had the Dolphins rolling, man. Tua gets injured. You lose one of your best players. Naturally, you're going to have problems, right? But the guy still can scheme stuff. He's still a good offensive mind. I don't know if he's a great head coach. That will remain to be seen. But we know it's possible. We're seeing it happen right now. And why, for the love of God, can't it ever be the Bears? Why can't the Bears be 7-2 with the generational quarterback? I say that in quotes, generational quarterback. You had the kid gifted to you, landed in your lap. Completely lucked out into that. And you're doing them wrong. I have visions of like Caleb Williams demanding a trade in a few years. God forbid if that happens. Caleb Williams starts demanding a trade. Forget about it, man. I'm about to turn 50 years old. Been a Bears fan since I was 10. Technically 9. And no, I was 10. I've gotten nothing from this team since then. A couple good years with Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka wasn't that great of a coach. He should have had 3 Super Bowls. The 86 defense was better than the 85 defense. Nothing but failure and incompetence since then. Dave Wanstead. Oh, boy, Dave Wanstead. Dave Wanstead, mini rant, won how many Super Bowls with the Cowboys? Came to Chicago, a complete fucking failure, and now look where Dave Wanstead is. He's all over the Chicago media talking all about the Bears. Like, I really, truly give a fucking shit what you think about the Bears, Dave Wanstead, and your 7-9 seasons. Go kiss my ass with your 7-9 seasons. Dick Duran. Boy, Dick Duran. That really just began like the like you could take any one of number of guys and put them up on the lineup and pick out that's the guy that the Bears are going to hire as the head coach, because he's the one that looks just dorky enough to be the head coach of the Bears and just passive enough to be the head coach of the Bears, not the brash Jim Harbaugh types. Jim Harbaugh 5-3 right now in a tough division. God knows, anyone that knows me knows where I went last offseason with the whole Jim Harbaugh rants. Fuck. I remember thinking like, oh man, we're screwed because Jim Harbaugh just took this Michigan job. We'll never have another chance at him. He always said that the Bears job is his dream job. And then he's sitting there right in our laps. All we had to do was fire Eberflus and go after him. No. We're not going to do that. You really think that it's because Poles didn't want to fire Eberflus? Because he wasn't green-lit the right to do that because of the money being spent on him. The $3-4 million they're going to have to pay him. Laz, Wanstead is another Eberflus. Nice guy, but can't lead an ant to a picnic. McCaskies don't like Harbaugh. You're right. The reason why? He's outspoken. He's going to tell them to fuck off when they need to be fucked off. I go from a 13-4 prediction to I don't know if this team will win another game. This was supposed to be the easy part of the schedule. The Packers are going to hand us our asses in Packers fashion, how they always hand us our asses. Twice again this season. They're going to do it. The Lions are going to hand us our asses on Thanksgiving because they love to win on Thanksgiving. And by the way, that's an away game. So no confidence in that win. The Vikings, they're a good team. I don't even know what they're doing right now because I'm out here bitching about this game, but they're probably winning right now. They're going to hand us our asses. We've got 6 more losses coming up right there. How many games are left? 9? Fucking Geno Smith. Geno Smith is, I don't know what the hell happened to Geno Smith. Now all of a sudden he's a good quarterback. He just came down, drove down the field, and took the Seahawks into overtime against the Rams. That was a win for me before, but I don't know about that now. Who else is left? New England? That's an away game. We're going to lose that game. So, San Francisco? Ha! Okay. And nothing pains me more than seeing our quarterback have to stand up there with this dejected look on his face and wonder why he didn't fucking stay in college one more year. That nothing grates on me more than that. You notice tonight after Caleb's press conference, that's the first time I can remember him not walking away from the podium saying, "The Bears." He's starting to see it. He's starting to feel it. God, I hope he doesn't put on the Score or ESPN radio in the morning on his way to work. Probably way too early to be listening to that shit anyways, because I'm sure he's there before any of those jerk-offs are on the radio. I could be wrong. I'm never up that early to listen to those jerk-offs. Steve, I did see Don Burr talking shit, and yeah, Don Burr's everywhere, Alex. Yeah, the Lions. That was, I tell you what, that was the most pleasure I had out of today, was seeing the Packers get their asses handed to them by the Lions. It's like why am I now subjected to this in my life where all I have to look forward to is watching the Packers lose rather than the Bears win? Every time I turn on the TV, the fucking Packers are still winning somehow. Doesn't matter what they do. By the way, we haven't beaten their head coach yet. We are completely defeated against Matt LaFleur. He has handed us our ass every time. Oh, man. Anyway, I had to get this off my chest right now, because by the time Thursday comes rolling around, I'm either going to be too dejected or it'll have passed. I needed to get this off my chest right now while it's fresh in my mind, while I'm thinking to myself, I know it's possible. I know it's possible to win with a rookie quarterback. It's happening right now in Washington. And if Washington goes on and becomes the first team to win the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback who just happens to be Gregory Hines' fucking doppelganger, I am going to lose my shit. Probably not here in public, but I will lose my shit. Guys, you know, I know I've taken some flack this past week for negativity because I'm always positive. I always predict more wins than I should, and it's always a 12-4 or 11-5 or you know, I keep getting fucked up by the extra game, but you know what I mean. It's always a 4-loss or a 5-loss season. It's never a 7 or an 8 or a 9-loss season. Like the people that are actually using their damn brain are predicting, and they're usually correct. And I sit there going, "Oh, how can you predict them to be 7-9 or whatever the fuck the record would be? 8-9. Well, this is why. Because they're looking at it objectively, not through the eyes of a Why? Why every single fucking year does my brain reset and forget what happened like a goldfish? And now I'm just buying myself into like, oh, this is going to be the year. I'm not going to get burned again for the 30th year in a row. And I'm getting burned again for the 30th year in a row. Oh, look. Brett Favre just got traded. We're going to finally start beating the Packers. Oh, nope. Here comes the fucking NFC Championship. Aaron Rodgers. Oh. Aaron Rodgers leaves, goes to the Jets. Oh, here we go. Fuck Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is now gone. Now we can start beating the Packers. No. Jordan Love beats us twice. He's about to beat us 2 more times again. But yet I do it to myself every year. And now I have waited my entire... Guys, since I was in my late teens, early 20s, it has always been about the quarterback for me. Me personally, it has always been about the quarterback. I've been saying it since I was 18 years old. Well, so-and-so sitting there in the 4th round, just take him and see what happens. Oh, Tom Brady's sitting there in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. Well, why not just take him and see what happens? So-and-so, Dak Prescott's sitting there. Let's see what happens. What's the Eagles coach right now? Or quarterback. He's sitting there right now. Why not take him in the 4th round? It's always been about the quarterback. And then I gasp, going, what the hell are they doing with they traded up for Mitch Trubisky? I'm glad they didn't take Deshaun Watson, but fuck, we would have all taken Deshaun Watson. And don't anyone sit here and tell me they would have taken Patrick Mahomes. He was a 2nd rounder to me. Maybe a late 1st rounder if we were sitting there with that pick. And if we did take him, it wouldn't have fucking mattered anyway. None of it would have mattered. We would have ruined Mahomes. The NFL would have been denied Patrick Mahomes because of the Bears. And they are about to be denied another great quarterback because the Bears have him. Because they're going to rinse and repeat this fucking cycle for the 3rd quarterback coach in a row. Sorry, guys. I'm just so fired up right now. I'm so sick. So sick of this. I'm so sick of this. Les says, great job, Shorty. Love your passion and truth about this failure franchise. I appreciate that, Les. Thank you. 10 Pan Dog saying, I feel your pain. Thank you, 10 Pan Dog. Since you're here in chat, I mean, I have to play. Maybe it'll make me laugh. Where is it? One of my favorites. I'm seeing red, so I can't even see it. Where the hell is it? I swear to God, he got it. Did you get rid of it, Carl? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I'll have some egg rolls, some ping ping dong, and yeah, I'll have some egg rolls, some ping ping dong.
Oh man, I know you guys feel my pain. You guys are out. You guys are here because you feel my pain. Because you're out here. You're out. You have the same pain right now. So you're like you're trying to find all the stuff about the Bears on the internet right now, to help relieve some of your pain, so that you can feel it being shared with the rest of us. I get it. Sam Miller, Bears fans are some of the funniest people on the planet. They somehow continue to buy into the idea that the Bears will be good. They won't accept the fact that the Bears are perennial losers. I can't fucking disagree with you, Sam. I can't disagree with you. And that's kind of why I'm here right now, bitching and moaning and complaining about it. Why? What What has afforded us the right to think that? You would think that we're the fucking Patriots fans. What afforded us the right to believe in our team so much and be so passionate about it that every year when this cycle repeats itself, we all get so up in arms like we didn't fucking know it was going to happen? A lot of people are realistic and they do predict the 8-9 season or the 9-8 season or the 7 and whatever the fuck the record would be now. It's 7-10 seasons or whatever. I don't know why I'm that way. To answer your question, son, or not really your question, Sam. Was it Sam? Sam Miller. It's not really a question, but you are right. And I don't know how to answer that. Because we want to think that like somehow the blind squirrel finally got the nut. It's only one nut. There's only one nut for that blind squirrel. Then he's going to starve after that because he found the nut. Now he's got to go out and find another one. Did they find the nut with Ryan Poles? If they did they force him to hire Flus because that's the guy that they wanted? Because they already did the interviewing process. Or did Ryan Poles really want Matt Eberflus? Because I don't know which is worse. To me, that's a fireable offense if that was literally Poles' guy. Quite honestly, like Poles has done some. He has had some really good draft picks. Brisker, Gordon, Javon Dexter, Tyreek Stevenson. Darnell Wright's kind of still out there. Braxton Jones is more like a stopgap for when you do get the right guy at left tackle. But if Ryan Poles was, or if Matt Eberflus was really Ryan Poles' first, like that's the guy that he wanted, then that's a fireable offense. And if you want to correct that, Ryan Poles, send the message right now and get rid of Mr. Goody Two Shoes tomorrow. End the cycle. Even though that's not really ending the cycle because you're still going to be starting out. You're not just going to retain Waldron as the head coach and then keep it that way. You're going to have to go out and get another head coach. But that just begs the question again. Why? Why are we still in this cycle, Ryan Poles? Why are we not on a new head coaching staff, offensive-minded, to pair with our shiny new toy that we were gifted? We were gift-horsed in Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is not the type of guy that's going to settle for this kind of fucking ridiculous mediocrity in this shithole run organization that are just fans of the team and don't really know what they're doing. And for Christ's sake, how old are you, George? In your 70s? All this time of being a fan, and you still don't have any football smarts? What are you a fan of? The money? Are you a fan of the money it brings? Or are you actually a fan of football? If you're a fan of football, do you know that when they're down 14-6, and if they score a touchdown, they need to go for a 2-point conversion and tie the game? Because you did the math in your head and you went, oh, well, if they do a point after attempt, they're still going to only be down by 1. And if they don't get the 2-point conversion, they'll be down by 2, which is actually still technically down by a field goal. Are you doing that kind of math in your head, George? Are you that? You're just a fan of the money? You can't actually process the football side of it that has those mathematics involved in it. What makes you think, George, that you need to go out and get a goddamn consultant every time that you hire a general manager or head coach? How, after all these years, can you not be competent enough to have some kind of football acumen by now? That's about all I've got for you guys. I know you guys are just as ramped up, pissed off, irritated. You guys are everything that I am right now. I'm just I've had enough. I've had enough. I made this channel as a means of being able to extrovert my feelings, my love for this team. My wife wanted me to do it so that I could vent it out to you guys and not to her all the time, because she's, after all these years, she's sick of it. But if they fuck up this quarterback, that was I never finished my rant. My whole life, it was all about the quarterback, right? Trubisky. Okay. Well, I'll get behind it. I'll see. Maybe he could be great. Nope. I trusted my eyes. Justin Fields. Be honest, I didn't scout him in college as much as that's the only thing I ever look at in college has always been quarterbacks. I rarely look at anything else. My entire life has always been quarterbacks. Every year it's quarterback. When we got Justin, I was overly optimistic that we had something we could build with him, because there was yet some special qualities to him. But this quarterback, this is the quarterback I have waited my entire life for. My entire life. If they fuck this quarterback up, it is going to ruin me. Because I will have known that I finally got what I have always, the only thing I have ever wanted. And if they fuck that up, then I know that there is truly no quarterback that is bear-proof. And if that's the case, I have no reason to invest any more of my life, any more of my money into, any more of my body parts into. Seriously thinking, like, how do I get rid of this tattoo? How do I remove this? If they fuck this quarterback up, I'm done. I will have nothing left. Nothing. I will be dead inside. When they lost that NFC Championship game to the Packers, something in me went. And instead of me getting emotional and pissed off and like I am right now, I literally, and inside I went, I died inside. I didn't watch that Super Bowl. It's the only Super Bowl I haven't watched since 85. And it took years. It took years for me to really start giving a shit about this team again. It took until somewhere around the drafting of Mitch Trubisky to where I was like really becoming myself again as a Bears fan. Because at least I had seen the efforts being put into the quarterback, unlike I had seen before. They failed, but at least I saw it. Same thing with Justin Fields. They failed, but at least I saw it. But here we are in both of those scenarios where they have a coach, then they draft a quarterback, then they make the quarterback learn everything, then they fire the head coach, and then they do it again, and then they're about to do it again. And once they fail this one, the best hope that we'll ever have at actually getting this right with the quarterback, fucking the talent that this kid has, if they ruin it, I don't know how many more people will feel the same way as me, but they will definitely ruin me, and I will never come back from it. I won't. I've got much better shit to be doing with my life. I know that much. Mr. Mayhem saying Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl victory was a fluke. No, it wasn't. It was because they beat the Bears. If Aaron Rodgers played the Bears every single year in the championship, if every one of those championship games that Aaron Rodgers played in and lost, if those were against the Bears, he would have played in every one of those would have been a Super Bowl appearance for him. Because he fucking owned our ass. And he has every right to say that. And that's what hurts so much. That's what drives us all so crazy, because we know he's right when he said that. We knew he was right. This team is exactly what we always knew they were. They're proving it again, and again. Gary Oz, Mick Foley, Dennis Moody, some new guys in here. I appreciate you hopping in. This is unusual for me. We usually do shows on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have a show with our British fans, the British Bears Show, on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. So thank you for hopping in here, the four of you: Dennis, Mick Foley, Gary Oz, William Turnbull. Seeing a lot of new names in here, probably because you guys saw something live on here, came on here, saw me bitching. So I want to thank you guys for taking some time out of your night to come and listen to my ranting right now. J2K, what's up, J2K? Yeah, emergency podcast. This is my emergency. I've got to get this shit off my chest podcast. Last saying, I'd like to see Caleb say fuck it and just let it go rather than running around all the time. Same with those, Mick Foley saying, same with those telling Caleb to float balls instead of rocketing it in because he has the arm to do it. Yep. Dennis Moody, yes, I did need it. I needed to do this. I was sitting there stewing, and my wife wanted to talk to me. And she's like, "Well, come on and just explain everything." I'm like, nah. If I'm going to get all pissed off, I don't want to scare my fucking dogs. So I'll just go and lock myself in my office and bitch about this on my channel for a minute. Be mindful, saying another newbie, thank you for hopping in with us. The question is, where do the Bears go from here? It just feels like it can't be fixed. It does. It feels like a perpetual situation. It will never get fixed. It will never get fixed. Everything's out of order. Hire a general manager, then hire a new team president. Interview head coach, hire general manager, have general manager hire coach you interview, hire team president. Draft quarterback, have quarterback learn brand new offense for the first time. Fire head coach, bring a new head coach, have quarterback learn brand new offensive system all over again in year 2. And you wonder why we're always spinning our wheels, because next year, Caleb Williams is going to be learning a brand new fucking offense again. And if he doesn't, it's going to be a joke. Either way you look at it, it's a joke. If they retain Flus, they're a fucking joke. If they fire Flus and Caleb Williams has to learn a brand new offense all over again, and everybody has to learn a brand new offense all over again, it's still a joke. You can't get around it. It's like the snake eating its tail. We are just the snake eating our tail, not us, but this organization is just the snake eating its tail. George Halas Jr., rest in peace. I wish things could have gone a different way. And it wasn't your sister that had to take this team over. I wish it would have been you, Muggs. By 54 years old, he probably wasn't going to have any kids, so we probably still would have been fucked either way. But I don't know. He might have at least had enough the football acumen to like teach that to the current morons that are running this team. Like Laz, like a turd swirling around in a toilet until it finally goes down the drain. That's where we go this season. Dennis Moody, if they fire Flus, it would have to be Waldron, right? I mean, I'm not saying Waldron's the answer, but I'm saying that Flus is incompetent. Flus has lost his team. You look at like the Raiders when they fired what's his name last year, and the guy that took over. They played for him. If today's game was about this team sending a message to Flus for Flus not treating the coaching staff and himself the same way he treats the players, in other words, owning up to the mistakes that he made to blow that fucking game last week, then that would mean that the team is giving up on him. And that would mean that if you fire him right now, you put the team at ease, and then they kind of reset their brains for Shane Waldron if you make him the head coach for the rest of the season. And then maybe you can win a road game or two. What's up, King Buka? Yeah, it seems like a lot of players are speaking up now, Alex. It seems like the leadership on this team is. We heard Caleb say something like that about in one of the last interviews, press conferences. He said something to the likes of great coaches or great players lead the team. If you have great players, eventually those great players become the leaders of the team. They're the ones that are giving the direction. Their input is received by the coaches because the coaches are listening to them. That's why I was. What's up, Atmos? What's up, Black King? Wow, a lot of new people hanging out here tonight. William Turnbull. Why do I always fall for this crap? Same shit. We are cursed since they fired Ditka. No, we are cursed since George Halas died. That's when the curse began. Or did the curse begin when Muggs Halas died? 54 years old of a heart attack. Which is I'm on my. The Bears are about to do that to me, so I don't know. But there are no answers for this, guys. That's the problem. The answer is you do things in the right order. You hire a general manager. You let the general manager do his job and go get the head coach. You let the general manager decide that coach's fate. That would be a start. They just don't do things that way. They don't. They don't know what they're doing. I'm exhausted too, Gary Oz. I am exhausted too. I'm exhausted. It's exhausting being a Bears fan. For a team that has been around since the inception of the NFL, for them to be the laughing stock of the league it's fucking ridiculous. It's embarrassing. The Packers are the darlings of the NFC North until recently. I'm happy for Lions fans. I have no malice in my heart for the Lions. The Packers can fuck off, eat a bag of shit, and die. But the Lions and Vikings, I don't really have many problems with. Happy for Lions fans right now. I feel like if Caleb Williams, after being failed by this team, demanded a trade, I would fucking stop being a Bears fan, for one thing. And I'd probably stop becoming an NFL fan altogether with. But the games I did watch, I would probably be watching Caleb Williams because of my investment emotionally in him. But because of my dreams finally coming true. All I've ever wanted my whole life was all I've ever wanted was the first pick in the draft with a quarterback like Caleb Williams. And here we sit. The fucking lame duck, moron, terrible game management head coach who blows leads like Scarface blows lines of cocaine. I was reading a stat about how many games he's blown 9 leads as a Bears coach, 27, I think it was, all time as being a defensive coordinator. 27 blown leads as a defensive coordinator. So that means he had what? That means he had 18 blown leads as a defensive coordinator when the McCaskies decided he was going to be the guy that they wanted for the job. It's like I said, you could take any coaching cycle, put all the guys up in a lineup, and go, that's the guy they're going to hire. Just by looking at him, you can tell who they're going to hire. Does he look like Dick Duran? Hired. Is he soft-spoken and blah 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 like Lovie Smith? Hired. And then it's like, oh well, let's go take a chance on a proven coach in John Fox. Because the shit show that we had with the quarterback before that was so bad, we had to go get someone like that. Fuck, I mean, Matt Nagy took us to the playoffs twice in 4 years. I mean, and they fired him. He did lose the team, though. I know. I wasn't happy with this Matt Eberflus hire from day one. I did the same thing that we all of us Bears fans do. I tried to convince myself that somehow this guy was the right guy for the job. Well, maybe as a defensive coordinator, he can help the quarterback. He can teach the quarterback what he's seeing on the field. Wrong. He can't manage. He's a terrible game manager. I bet you when they were down 14-6, if they would have scored a touchdown and made the score 14-12, they wouldn't have known if they should have gone for 2 or not. They'd have been like, what do we do? One guy would have been going 2, the other guy would have been going 1, and they would have been, oh, fuck, we got to call a timeout again. You get down to the end of the game when all you have to do with 26 seconds left is stop a Hail Mary from happening. But what do? You let them get 20 yards to get into Hail Mary range. Not, oh, wait a second, how far away are they? Oh, 75 yards? Can Jaden Daniels throw the ball 75 yards? I don't know. Can he? Well, let's find out. No. Let's go. Well, of course you can, right? So we're just going to we're going to get everyone back like this is going to be a Hail Mary. Meanwhile, we're going to leave open the middle of the field so they can get into field goal range. Oh, and then on the Hail Mary, we're going to spy the quarterback. No wonder why the McCaskies hire people like this, because they don't know anything about football either. So when they don't even know what questions to ask when the head coach comes in for the interview process. They don't even know what questions to ask. If the game is 14-6 and you score a touchdown, are you going for 2 or for an extra point? They don't ask questions like that. If the other team has the ball on the 15-yard line and there's 14 seconds left in the game, are they going to throw a Hail Mary? They don't ask questions like that because they don't know. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. So, Gary, you must, if you know my name, you must watch the show. I don't remember if I have seen you in chat before. I apologize for not remembering. Raging Oracle, what's up? Mr. Mayhem, what is up? What's up? What's up, Walt? Nor would they ask that question is subjective to a lot of different factors. Oh, there's Don Burr. Hey, Don, I'm going to tell you what. You gave me the most pleasure your team has given me the most pleasure that I've had today, and that's watching the Lions beat the fucking shit out of the Packers. And if I remember correctly, I think I heard somebody say something about a pick 6, and that just warms my heart even more. Don, if it's not the Bears, which it won't be, I do hope your Lions win the Super Bowl this year, man. I do. I know that you have felt just as much pain over the course of your fandom as a Lions fan as I have about my team. So I have nothing but compassion for you and what you are experiencing right now as a fan of the Lions. I'm happy for you. Said that before. I'll say it again. All right. Well, that's the end of my rant. I really appreciate all you guys for taking the time right now to hang out with me while I got this off my chest. Cliff Victoria, Raging Oracle, Dennis Moody, William Turnbull, Antmus, Cliff Victoria, Walt, Dave S., Raging Oracle, Antmus, Gary Oz, Don Burr, Mick Foley, Laz, King Buka World, Ray Donovan. Ray Donovan, I missed that one. I need some cocaine. Black King. Caleb will demand a trade if not being. I guarantee you he will. I guarantee you, and I would too. Alex, my name is O. Thanks for hanging out with me right now tonight as I bitch and complain and whine and moan. I needed to get this off my chest. I do feel a lot better. I do feel better. I can Tin Pan Dog, thanks for hanging out, man. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you. I appreciate you, Cliff. I wish, all my life, every time I've ever gotten a wishbone, and you snap it in half and you create I'm not kidding you, 100 of them I've broken. Every fucking wish is, I wish the Bears win the Super Bowl. Funny. Yeah, I will. Thank you, Dennis. I'll get some rest. We are going to need it with and another road win, another road loss coming up. We needed it. It's on the road. I'm glad I made you. I'm glad that I helped to kind of just rage here for a minute, and you guys are feeling it too. I really appreciate that, Gary. Buka, I did this right now because you saw me. You were one of the ones that said one of the nicest things I've ever heard anybody say to me in a chat, saying that you need me right now. You need me to be positive, and you look to me for that. I appreciate you saying that. You made me feel something there, like he's right. It with all the negativity about the Bears seemingly all the time, you need a little bit of it, right? And when that person loses that, it's like, fuck, we're all doomed here. Amphiarius. Thank you. That's very, 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 very kind of you to say. I'm really glad that you guys are appreciating me coming on here and venting like this, because I don't do this very often. I've only done a handful of these by myself. It's usually with one of our excellent, co-hosts, team members, producers. We've got a great team here on BCP. For anybody that doesn't know about this channel, it's not all this. It's not all me sitting up here bitching and mining and moaning and crabbing. We have some pretty good content here on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as well as Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, the British Bears Show, and then Bears Country Podcast on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. For everyone that's new here to the chat right now, I encourage you to come check that out. There's 4 of us. It's a fun show. We like to laugh. Probably because this team is so laughable, we try to have some fun with it. So, Alex, my name is O. Subscribe. Love your honesty. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Mayhem, I feel the same way, man. I need the Packers to be last place. And no shit, man. Just please. I keep saying, like, when are the Packers going to fuck off? When are they just going to fuck off? 30 fucking years of Packers. When are they just going to fuck off? When? All we hearing is Jordan Love sucks. Jordan Love sucks. The Jordan Love must suck because of the blah, 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 blah. And then Aaron Rodgers leaves. We're like, yeah, we finally got him. Nope. That fucking cocksucker beats us twice. So, yeah. I'm right there with you. Raging or King Buka. I just went through a summer of my baseball team losing 121 games. Owners of teams in this city are not fans of the team they own. They are a means to their money-making ends. Chicago is a big market. We are passionate as hell. Passionate as hell about our teams. I don't live in Chicago anymore. I'm born and raised, lived most of my life in Lake County. But I know how passionate we are as fans, because especially the Bears. And the reason why it's the Bears is because that's the shittiest time of the year. I mean, there's only 3, maybe 4 good months out of the entire season in Chicagoland. The rest of it's cold, rainy, snowy, shitty, gray, black snow everywhere from soot from the cars, and when it's that shitty ass time of the year, you fall to you count on the Bears. You need the Bears. You need them to be good. Good would be good. They're not even good. They're never good. I think that's why we all get so irritated by them all the time. It's just because it's like, when are you going to get your heads out of your asses? We're all here for you. We're all like dying to spend $8,000 a ticket to go to a fucking playoff game for the 5th year in a row because you can't get seats. We're all dying to do that. Give us a reason to. Laz, what? No super chats? Jesus God. Oh, as that comes in, look at that, Calvin. As a Cardinals fan, I appreciate you, brother. Calvin, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That, especially as being a Cardinals fan. So as being a Cardinals fan, then you know the Cardinals' history, right? The Cardinals are one of the first two charter franchises in the NFL, and they were the Chicago Cardinals at the time. I was sitting there today thinking, God, I wish the fucking Bears would have just left town and the Cardinals were our team. Because at least then we would have some semblance of competence. Thank you for your $10 super chat, Calvin. I really appreciate that. That is very kind of you. Didn't have to do that. Words cannot express enough my appreciation for that. So thank you very much. No, ma'am, the Cardinals have never won a Super Bowl. So that did cross my mind after I said that. After I thought that, I was like, well, if that was the case, then we wouldn't have the 80. At least I would, and by the way, a side note, I'm fucking so sick and tired of talking about that Super Bowl. I am so sick and tired of talking about the 85 Bears. It's not because I don't love that team. It's not, I am just, it is time to move on. It is time to not have that as the only thing to hang our hats on. Buka saying, Shorty, I meant that shit. Don't let this team kill your days and nights. We all try to stay positive, but in that positivity, we can also be real. This O-line is the Achilles heel of this team. It is definitely the Achilles heel of this team. Irony. Irony. General manager, offensive lineman. Can't get the offensive line right. Irony. God, I hate irony. I've never liked irony. Has always been my pet peeve, man. Irony is a serious pet peeve. Like, you win the lottery and get run over by a train. That's like, I hate irony so much that I thought, like, oh fuck, now we got this quarterback. We're like, I finally got it. This quarterback's, he's gonna be the best. Caleb's gonna be the best quarterback in the entire NFL, and I'm gonna drop that of a heart attack, right? Because that's exactly how it would go. I'd be like, I waited my entire life for this. Finally got. See you later. Get run over by a bus or something. It's only been 40 years. What the fuck, McCaskies? Yeah, I mean, honestly, Atmos, we need the Honey Bears back. I'm starting to believe that maybe that is actually, because once we've all talked about it at some point in our lives, like when the Honey Bears left, that's when they got rid of the Honey Bears. That was it. This team took a shit from that moment on. So, Yeah, also Chris Morgan needs a damn boot too. Yeah, you are correct. I think you're correct. Shorty, Jordan loves trash today. That down there somewhere, lucky shit he does finally backfired him. That is so great to hear. I'm nothing this. There's nothing more that can at least help me out a little bit in a tragic, awful, shitty Bears loss like this than seeing the Packers get their fucking asses handed to them. Puts a smile on my face. Is there be mindful? Is there a timetable for the whole taking the North thing? Oh God, that's a good one. Yeah, what is that timetable? Right, this is year 3. He hasn't taken it yet. Oh, who's this Christian? Yeah, because you idiots know QB play. You fucking bums. You don't know shit. Incompetence breeds incompetence, Christian. Let's leave it at that. So it wasn't Justin last year. No, I know that. I gathered that, J2K. No, I don't believe we're any better off with Justin right now. But I do know this. My eyeballs tell me that Caleb Williams is a hell of a lot better quarterback than Justin. So I've been waiting my whole life for this quarterback. I can't believe we got him. And if they fuck it up, that'll be the end of me as a Bears fan. That's all I can say. Well, guys, I did not mean for this to be an hour and 47-minute long rant. I just wanted to kind of come on here for maybe like a half an hour and bitch. But you guys are awesome in chat, kind of helping me out and kind of having a conversation with me about it, helping to talk me off the ledge, as well as, you know, hearing me rant as well. It's been I'm glad that I do this. I feel a lot better. I can get some sleep tonight now, knowing that I got this off my chest. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for any one of you that has subscribed to this channel tonight. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Calvin. I really do appreciate that. That is very kind of you. And yeah, we will see you guys. Let's see. We got British Bears coming up on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then Bears Country Podcast will be myself and Foster and PJ and Carl. That'll be this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys there. Yeah. We will let's just sleep on this tonight, guys. I'm sure I'll see some of you in another chat tomorrow while somebody else is bitching about something. So appreciate you guys very much, more than you know. Thank you so much, guys. I always end this on a Bears, which is kind of a quirky, funny Bears. But I'll just end this on a very sobering, I should say, bear down.